Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from the title, this is going to be just an extreme holiday motivation video. We have 1 week until Christmas. I know I have a huge to-do list on top of my normal household cleaning, tidying up all of that to tackle, and that this way we can get through this stressful week together. If that sounds good, stick around, subscribe, thumbs up, all that, and I'm gonna jump right on in. This video will have some normal cleaning and housework stuff. I've got some dishes to clean up in my kitchen before we can bake some cookies. That is one thing we always do, is bake cookies one weekend before Christmas with my mom. I'll go into more of that later. But yes, this video will have my usual cleaning motivation as well as holiday content. These cookies are definitely a big family Christmas tradition on my dad's side. I can remember making these with my grandmother when I was a kid. He remembers them from his childhood from his mom. It's just a very big tradition that we have to do every year. This is what the Grinch did that night. It's another easy idea if you need a fast last minute one. But back to these cookies, they are just absolutely phenomenal, but I only like them like day one. They're like a cake, and the icing on them is just powdered sugar and water and sprinkles, and it makes a mess, which is why I have this tablecloth down. But the kids have such a blast making these cookies. It's always so much fun, and watching them like individualize each one of their cookies. Oh, and here's Titan. I can't remember if I've introduced you guys on YouTube to him or not. I know over on Instagram I have, but I wasn't sure if I've introduced him here yet. But this is my parents' puppy. He's 6 months old. His name is Titan. He is so, so cute. But these kids with these cookies, the way that they each did their own thing on each cookie, Brianna's are very, you know, delicate and thought out. And Gwen's and Declan's, they just kind of chucked as many sprinkles on in each spot as they could. It was just absolutely adorable to watch how excited they got doing this.
Making our Christmas memories. I've been wrapping presents for you. I've been hanging marbles in the tree, and I've lit my house with Christmas lights. So you should come back home to me. And when we wake up in the morning, I'm gonna play those carols that you love. We'll be singing all the melodies until the sun comes up.
This does leave me curious about Christmas traditions in your family. If there's anything like this where there's a certain cookie recipe or cake recipe or any specific traditions you do each year at the holidays. I love hearing about other people's Christmas traditions, so if you want to share any of yours, please put them down below because I would love to read them. And when I said this makes a mess, I wasn't kidding, and this is why we put down the tablecloth, because then all I have to do is ball it up and throw it away instead of trying to get every bit of this sugar mess and sprinkles off of this counter. I usually do that every year and it takes me quite a while. So no, the tablecloth made life so much easier. Still using the Mrs. Meyer's peppermint like every other video, but I'm cleaning off the dining room table because we're going to do an Oreo gingerbread house. I'll show you the box here in a minute. And then we found one of these cards on the floor. This is from Exploding Kittens. If you guys have played that game, it's kind of confusing to be honest, but so far I'm having fun with it. This is the Oreo mini house kit that we were doing. My husband for the last several years has been getting gingerbread houses. This one came from Sam's. It was only like, I think $11. The kids have a blast with it. They never turn out looking picture perfect. I will easily say that. But the kids have so much fun each year with these different gingerbread house kits my husband brings home. And it's a really good activity just to do with the kids.
Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories.
And of course, as soon as he hands her the icing, she starts to try and eat it out of the package. Mako is up in my lap trying to see what's going on. That's also what he does recently. My husband is helping Gwen build hers. Aiden is working on one over there. Brianna, she didn't really want to do this, and neither did Tristan, which is perfectly fine. I don't force them to do anything they don't want to do, but I kept the audio in the next clip because listen to Gwen.
I'm just saying Halloween. It's way closer to Christmas than it is to Halloween, Gwenny. I'm just saying Halloween with my boys. Halloween, Halloween, let's get spooky. Halloween, it's spooky. Let's dress up in our Halloween fun. Let's have a jolly
Not sure at all why she was singing Halloween, but it was absolutely adorable. Her house kept falling down. She kept getting upset because her house wouldn't stay together. We finally did get it to stay together. Declan, he used a side wall for a roof and another side wall for the base, and it was a mess. I did one pretty decent just to show what they can look like. But this is what Gwen's turned out to be like working with Daddy. This is Aiden's little house, which he was so excited just to take to his room, run off and eat. That was hysterical. And then of course, Declan's hot mess all over my table, and his house, which he thought was absolutely perfect. I wanted to do some kind of craft with the kids, but if I do need like the paper art, it just gets thrown away anyways. So I was trying to figure out a fun way to do an ornament that's involving all the kids and Connor, myself. And if I do have any extra of this stuff, I might actually like the paw prints and stuff. But I'm gonna use some Sculpey. If you've never used this stuff before, let me see if I can get it to focus for a minute. Ah, there we go. And I picked one that has glitter in it, which is probably why it's having trouble focusing. But you do the art with it and then you bake it in the oven and it turns into just like normal clay. So I'm gonna show you what I'm doing with this. I got the Frost White glitter, and you bake it in your oven at 275 degrees for 30 minutes. Just keep it about 1/4 of an inch thick, and that way it won't burn and the time and the oven temperature and everything is right. But when you take this out of the package, really like work it around and knead it for a few minutes. Otherwise, you won't be able to get the best art piece out of it. You do have to make sure it's fully flexible. I couldn't find my rolling pin. I don't care. I just used a glass and made it easy on myself, and an old cookie cutter that Gwen wanted to help me make sure she cut out the Christmas tree shape. And don't forget, if you are going to work with this stuff or any kind of clay, if you're going to hang it like an ornament, poke a hole where the ornament hanger is going to go before you bake it, because otherwise you're not going to get a hole in this thing without ruining your design. And then you're going to see me, I get each kid and myself and my husband's fingerprints on this Christmas tree. I did it in order. Connor started, then me, all the way in age order down to Gwen as the bottom.
All I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents as long as I spend this day.
And I did have some leftovers, so I did the pets. This is Hunter's paw. I already did Mako's paw, and I got Valera off camera, but as you can see, we had to use a licky stick to make nice to her because she definitely did not like that. But I was able to get all 3 pets involved as well.
That I can be with you, 'cause God knows that I've been longing for you. I just wanna hold you close. You know the stars are shining just for you. Let's take a walk, and we can follow the moonlight till we reach a place.
All the kids recently went through like a pretty big growth spurt, but instead of cleaning out, I've just kind of been adding to their drawers little by little. And I can't keep doing that. Gwen's got clothes in here that are like a 3T, 4T, and she's wearing anything between a 4, 5, and even a 6 right now in the big kids section. So the next thing I'm gonna work on is decluttering. When I was going through Gwen's clothes, yes, I found an old baby onesie, but I could not believe just how much like Halloween stuff that I had bought for her, but no other shirts at the time. Like, I was really putting her in seasonal clothes instead of just buying like staple pieces. So I have to go back and do that with her wardrobe because she has very little that are any and everyday type outfits. Most of her stuff right now is still Christmas, and as soon as Christmas is over, I'm gonna have to update all of her clothes.
And drink our chocolate by the fire, 'cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas.
While I'm on the subject of decluttering, this next step I can't show you because I've already done it, and that is your kids' toys. Declutter them before Christmas and all the new stuff arrives. Plus, if you donate all this stuff, it gives more options for people in need as well, which is also a bonus. But I can't show you that because her birthday was all of 2 weeks ago, so I have already done my declutter and purge. And in Declan's room, I already did that as well because I can't really film in there. The lighting's not all that great, so it's very hard for me to show you that process. But if you have not already, go ahead and declutter your kids' toys. And IKEA finally had Brianna's dresser back in stock. And as you notice, hers is the 6 drawer, not the 4. Gwen stops here. She has the 2 extra drawers on top, just so she has a little extra space. But I don't need to declutter that because we just built this like a week and a half ago as well. Like, it's still actually organized, which this never happens with Brianna's drawers. I do need to get her some drawer dividers, but decluttering doesn't need to happen on this set. Declan's drawers have a few things I can declutter, but his dresser is in his closet, so this is the absolute best lighting I can give you guys, which is why you don't see me doing his drawers in here for the declutter, but I will be pulling out some stuff of his as well. Every year the kids like to buy gifts for each other, but with 5 of them and buying gifts for each one of their siblings, it's ridiculous. So we made it a little easier and we let each kid pick 2 names. So like Brianna, she'll shop for Tristan and Declan or something like that, but we do randomize it. And also I have to make a list this year because we're going to do Secret Santa. My in-laws and my sister-in-law are here for Christmas this year, so we're gonna do a big like Secret Santa gift exchange thing. And that was Brianna's idea. She thought it'd be so much fun, so I'm excited to get that situated.
Last year I thought about how things can come around.
I always keep construction paper on hand just because of all the kids and school projects and things, but even if I didn't care if the papers were red, white, green, blue. I didn't care. I would have used Post-its to make this happen. It doesn't really matter. I just use whatever I have on hand at the time and make my life a lot easier. Gwen thought it was absolutely fun to pick out the names that she got, and each kid really enjoyed doing this. It's just a little thing that's really cute, but they really enjoy it. And this is how both the ornaments turned out. I love them so much.
About yesterday, my favorite holiday. It means so much more.
All right, on to day 2. There was no way I was getting everything done yesterday, and then this morning I had to take the dogs to the vet, so I passed donuts to go. I'm gonna show you the box of crazy that Brianna picked out. All right, and just look at the crazy. They said they have Christmas decorated, Hanukkah decorated, just all kinds of nuts in there. For this video, I got asked exactly how to wrap, just like teach someone an easy way how to wrap. So I do have a very basic little box here to show you, but also something more elaborate. I wrapped this in my last video, and my cat and my kids and everything have destroyed it in 2 parts. So I have to rewrap a crazy one anyways, and I'll show you how to do that. First things first, I'm not using any of my special little gadgets. I'm gonna use the standard little tape thing and normal scissors. I did, however, clean these, dry them, wipe them down, all of that before starting this process. And this is just a standard roll of wrapping paper. It's not too thin, it's not too thick, but the thicker stuff is a little harder to press down and fold in all the right spots. So I will cover that when I get to that part. I have to rewrap that. I was going to use this one to measure it, unrolled my wrapping paper, and oh, hello. What's with all the holes? I don't even know how that happened. Just, what is that about? I'm ignoring the random holes. We're gonna start with the very standard box. Best thing you could do, unroll your paper and put the thing right in the middle of it. Take your paper and go and find the center of the box. That amount on that side is what you're gonna wanna cut on this side. So about that far, and about that far, and then cut all the way up. Now that you have this way measured, we're going to do the other sides. You want to take it and again, go halfway up your item, if not a little past if you're a little worried, but still halfway. Look at how much you got there and cut that on this side. Make your life easy. Take a piece of tape, one side, pull it over, pull it tight, try not to rip it though, and just tape it down. Then the other side, I like to push the object back a little bit so this pulls over nice and flat and tight, and then just tape it down. Then that part's good to go. When it comes to closing the ends, it's very easy. Push in on the 2 sides, and then push down on the paper like you see me doing, okay? Then you're just going to fold over, and then back over on itself. Tape it down, and you're done. I add extra tape here and here just so there's no flapping. You can see me do it again. Push in and push these down, just like that. And then push this side down, this side over the top. Seals just like that. Put your tape on, and your package is completely wrapped. But see right here where it flops open if I wanted it to, and right here, that is when I will come in with the extra tape. on just those 2 spots right there. This present is for Gwen. She is newly 4. Any of these smaller children or toddlers, I use as little tape as I physically can because you want them to be able to unwrap the presents themselves. And for this one, she has a nice flap right over here she can get her fingers in, as well as right over here, or on these sides, we can find an easy spot. But if it's a younger child, just use less tape. And then if it's an older child or an adult, you could drive them crazy and just tape this whole thing up if you want to. Now let's move into something very weird. This has a lot of edges that can poke free, so we do have to do something slightly different with this one. When I'm measuring the paper for one of these, I want the paper to go over this side and up the back, so I am sealing off these as my 2 sides that I have to close up. What I like to do with the weird stuff is do the bottom piece first and bring it up and do the bottom. And with weird ones, I do use a little extra tape. So 3 across that piece. Stand it up. And you're gonna gently tug at the paper and you're gonna bring it back and over, but don't pull too far, because if you pull too far, all this stuff that's in this front of this is going to snag that paper and it's gonna put a hole. Then I will flip it back down so I can tape down this back flap. The camera higher so you can see what I'm doing, but yeah, you saw I just kind of laid it on top of the paper down there. It'll de-wrinkle, it's fine. For this one, this is the front of your package, this is the back of your box. Take this lower flap down here, fold it in like that to where you get the bottom. Up here at the top, you're gonna push it in with the back seam of the box inward, like that, okay? So then you get a flat panel here and a flat panel here, okay? If you want to save yourself a little bit of trouble, you can go ahead and put a piece of tape down here on this corner. Tuck that part into the box a little, and then you're gonna start pulling gently at the paper and folding as you go until you get it to look flat, just like that. And that's when you're gonna start taping. If you don't like what it looks like, unfold and refold as many times as you want until you get it looking exactly how you want to. And then one side is completely finished. Repeat the process. This side of the box is shaped differently than the other side of the box. So just pull and tuck until you're happy with it, and then just tape it off. Sometimes folding the weird stuff, you are gonna get these little divots and these little pockets. If they bother you, stick a bow on that side, add some ribbon, but this is going to a 4-year-old. The first thing she's gonna do is probably walk over to it, shove her finger in the wrapping paper, and just start ripping. I don't care about a bow or anything special. This is so much easier for them to open and unwrap anyways when it has this hole from the box missing, so I just prefer to do it this way. I hope that helps. If you guys have any more questions on how to wrap, just let me know down below. The next thing I'm gonna do though is move into a treat. I know I already showed you guys the Italian cookies. This one is a no bake. It's very simple, quick. I'm gonna do that with Brianna in a second. But I do have another video from last year I will go ahead and tag. I threw a Christmas party with tons of like really fun festive dishes, like the candy cane that's made out of mozzarella and tomato. I did like a charcuterie Christmas tree. Tons of different food ideas if you are hosting that you could do. A lot of them are perfect last minute throw together. That will be in the video I tagged down below. Perfect if you are entertaining anytime this week. For this treat, we're gonna take these Nutter Butter cookies because of the shape of them, and we're going to turn them into snowmen. This is just the little white melting wafers out of Walmart. You could use Wilton, you can use white chocolate chips. Anything you really want to, you can use for that. As well as I found this in Walmart. I showed it to you guys in a previous video. Or you can draw the pieces on with icing. You could do sprinkles. You can do all kinds of different things for that. And we're gonna add some scarves just for a little extra fun. Step 1, melt your chocolate however your chocolate needs to be done. These were a hot mess. I put the sprinkles in separate bowls, that way the kids can reach them easier, but the chocolate would not melt right no matter what I tried. I even added coconut oil to it like I always do, which typically thins it out nicely. It just did not work. Whatever this little kit is from Walmart, it did not work whatsoever, but we made the best of it and the kids enjoyed this project a lot. So here's the example one for the kids. And then this is their handiwork. Just a lot of fun and easy. I don't know what was going on here with my white chocolate. It did not melt right whatsoever. So hopefully your white chocolate will melt better than this. But yeah, either way, the kids had fun. I did a few more where I could actually take my time so I could show you guys what they would look like if you were planning on putting these out for some kind of event, or you wanted them to look a little more done. Plus the actual little balls, they are different sizes. If you look, the eyes on these are bigger and these are smaller, because I did find the right ones. But otherwise you could let your kids do them and have a blast, because either way they enjoyed really doing this a lot. But here's what they look like if you take your time. Just ignore how dirty it is. I wanted to ask you guys a question about this. If any of you have a Frigidaire, have you had problems with this right here leaking? Apparently it has been leaking for a while, and I just thought when this had a little extra water in it and it had the marks down it, it was my kids. No. I'm gonna show you what this thing is doing. Brought you like as close as I can. Watch the stream of water behind the cup. Like, I'm filling the cup. Do you see that water right here? Coming down past my finger, dripping off right here. Yeah, that. It just constantly does this now. We do have the control lock on, so the kids shouldn't be able to use this, but every now and then I keep finding this off. So one of my kids is getting bored and wanting to come over here and get ice the right way. But either way, this is typically off right now. But if anyone knows anything, has experience with this, or what to do, I will gladly take it, because it's not like there's a panel inside that I can see. It's just all one piece in there. So it's not very easy to take this apart. So I would really like some advice if you have any on this. And I'm sorry, I got the dogs inside. Noisy doggo wanted to come in the house. Meanwhile, that one is ignoring me and just sunbathing. All right, but let's circle this back and stick to holiday content in this video. So another thing I want to share is a few tips, because people ask me about my party prep and what makes that a lot easier. I already showed you guys the video, or I should say tagged the video and mentioned it for all the party food that I've done. If you don't want to go all the crazy levels of making a candy cane out of your food or a Christmas tree out of your food, don't do it. Pinterest is your best friend. If you've never used Pinterest before, it is so easy. You just type in there whatever you want. Christmas dinner ideas, Christmas brunch ideas, Christmas treats, anything, Hanukkah treats, Kwanzaa treats, whatever holiday you're working on right now, and put it in there, and it will give you a crap ton of ideas. Like, I'm doing brunch at my house this year. Well, I saw this picture right here. Let me see if I can get it to focus for you guys. This picture right here, and I'm like, that would be absolutely perfect over there on my island. It's easy, we can all bring stuff. So I sent that to my other guests and told them to start picking pieces of it they want to bring. Now let's talk about presents. At this point, if you still have people that you need to shop for, one, I really hope that you are a list person, whether it's pen and paper. Like, seriously, I'm a pen and paper girl. If you are electronic, however you do this, I really hope that you have a list. And if you don't, I highly recommend just brain dump everything you still need to buy, want to buy, people you need to shop for, brain dump it out. I will show you mine in a second of everything I still need to get, but the list do really help, because otherwise you are likely to forget something, and you don't want to do that, because Christmas Eve the stores close early, Christmas Day they are closed, and you don't want to just have something fall through the cracks if you could have prevented it. When it comes to buying stocking stuffers, there's a lot of times I can't do it all in one swing. Like, there's things I'm looking for I just can't find, or I don't feel it's quite enough. I do recommend taking pictures of what you've already bought. If you're not a list person, take pictures. Like this right here, I did post my video, so I took off the pictures on my phone, but this is a screenshot of my video, so I could go back and remember, oh crap, there was that one other thing I wanted to get Aiden, or Declan, did I grab that? I don't remember if I grabbed that or something similar. I've got a picture I can go right back to and reference. So I have my list on this piece of paper of stuff I still need to buy. I do not want to show it at you in case one of my children sees this. I don't want to give any of that away. So I'm not going to flash you at my list, but like it does say scratch offs on here, because every year in their stockings, they do get scratch offs. It's a tradition that goes all the way back to my parents giving me and my brother scratch offs every Christmas morning in our stocking. I have continued that on with my children, but I have yet to purchase them. So that is on my list, as well as everything for my side of that brunch board is on this list, as well as my two nieces. I have not gotten their thing to put their gift card or cash in yet, so that's on the list as well. Like my list even says wrapping paper. I do have a little bit of wrapping paper, but I know that I do not have enough. So that is also something that will be on my master list. It is anything and everything that I could need. Like I'm going to need tableware, some plates and stuff for brunch. That is also on this list. It is a mixture of anything that I have to buy, whether it's present, stocking, breakfast, lunch, doesn't matter. That is all on one master list, and it goes with me when I go shopping, so I can start checking crap off anytime for this final week. Another easy tip, let the grocery stores be your best friend this time of year if you're entertaining. This little star holiday pizza right here was from Aldi, Walmart, Publix, Target, anywhere. Their bakery is full of stuff pre-done, ready to go. Their freezer sections have all kinds of appetizers. All you gotta do is heat them up. Most of them can go in an air fryer, and that makes them even better, or you just pop them in your oven. But let the grocery store help you. If it's going to stress you out to make all these creative and crafty things or to host, do it the easy way and let the stores take care of it for you. Because seriously, no one's gonna care if you made it yourself or not. No one's gonna care if your cupcakes were done by you or if they were done by the grocery store. No, don't worry about crap like that. Make your life easier. Another thing I have to talk about involves that little dude right there. Christmas Eve, every year there is a box. It's got matching pajamas and usually a new board game, hot cocoa, and some kind of treat or snack for us to have during the day. And then he goes poof with a cute little letter and some glitter, and he goes back to the North Pole to do his job. That is another thing I do have to make sure I take care of. This week we already have the pajama part taken care of. You guys saw that in one of my other videos from Black Friday, but I do not have the other items, and I have yet to pick our new board game that's going in the box. Declan just walked through, so I had to wait for him to bypass from it before I can keep talking about this. But typically, Elfie puts all that stuff in the box, and then there's some kind of note or scavenger hunt that leads to the box. We open it, we have our pajamas for that night, but during the day, we'll play whatever new board game that we got in the box. We'll drink hot chocolate, we'll make cookies all day, watch Christmas movies. It is just a really fun family day that we do on Christmas Eve. I do have those videos as well if you want to see them. That's really up to you. That's more of a day in the life vlog style there, so much fun. But that is just our Christmas Eve tradition, as well as dinner that night. We do a whole bunch of appetizers, most of which are out of the frozen department, because it makes my life easier. So anything that does that makes my life easier, I'm all for. Another tip, if you did not see my stocking stuffer video, don't forget your fur babies. And yes, Connor made sure he had to get Mako his special snowflake stocking over there, but that's a different story. Don't forget your fur babies when you're working on the stockings. I'm walking all over my house trying to figure out if there's any other holiday tips I want to add to this video, but there is one I do really want to share. I know as a mom, for me, I want to make the holidays as special and as perfect as I can for my kids, but crap is gonna happen. And I have to be able to roll with the punches, otherwise it's going to ruin my mood, ruin my day, and potentially ruin theirs. So the best thing I could say is don't stress the small stuff. If your breakfast doesn't come out exactly as planned, if your wrapping doesn't come out as planned, just try your best to roll with it and stress very little as possible for the small stuff. Just let that crap go. Your kids are gonna run through their presents in 2 seconds flat, so the wrapping doesn't matter. Their breakfast they're gonna eat as quickly as they can to get to the presents, so just don't stress the small stuff. The snowman cookies are a perfect example of don't stress the small stuff. My kids do not care. They thought this was the greatest thing. They don't need them to look all nice like this. They were so ridiculously happy with that, and it's nowhere near Pinterest or internet pretty, but that just made their day. Now, one thing I will admit to with this being holiday related, a lot of my normal tasks have been pushed to the wayside because I've been busy working on holiday stuff, planning it, and wanting to spend extra time with my kids. They're home from school already for winter break, so it's been very taxing. Plus, we've had sickness float through the house, so a bunch of stuff is where it doesn't belong. So if you have like a whole bunch of chores and tasks to do, that's what I'm gonna do real fast, is get some good old cleaning motivation in here for you guys. Cause like, yeah, clothes over there, towels and blankets right here that need to get washed, just a whole mess of stuff that needs to get done. Really not sure why he does that, but I was almost an idiot and left that right there. Face up with what I'm getting the kids for Christmas, so yeah, I need to hide that. I don't do this very often, but I did throw the blanket in there with the towels. Typically I don't do that, but sometimes I just do it last minute if I have the space. White vinegar Tide Pod, that's how I'm running with this, just typical usual stuff. And then gonna pick up the stuff in the hallway that I almost tripped over while I was going to do the laundry. Down the chimney at the speed of light while we're dancing around the Christmas tree, hugging and kissing, just you and me. If you've made it to this point, I hope you've enjoyed so far what you've seen. If you are new here, my name is Rachel. I'm a mother of 5 out of Florida. I make cleaning, motherhood type videos. I go a little crazy around the holidays, but I do everything shortcutted and on a budget and just whatever makes my life easier and I want to share with you guys. That's what I share, is tips, tricks, hacks, recipes, you name it. Anything that makes your life a little more easy and helps you get through the motherhood chaos a little bit better. If that sounds good, I really hope you decide to stick around and enjoy my channel because it's a lot of fun over here. The counter is clear, which I haven't seen in almost 2 weeks, but the sink is still absolutely disgusting. The mirror is gross and needs to be clean, and there is something on this cabinet that I have no idea what that is, but I will get that off later because the kids asked to play chicken horse, and of course I am going to stop and do that with them, and that game is so much fun. If you've never tried it, for a crowd, that game is so much fun. Moving on several hours later, I've already handled more stuff with the kids, played the video game and everything, and the last thing I'm working on is holiday related. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna try my best to cover any of the bad language in it, but it's too funny not to show you guys. So I'm working on a Cricut project for my father-in-law. I'm pretty sure if any of you know where that quote even starts to come from, it is a Christmas movie and it's just hysterical, and I'm putting it on a shirt for him. And yes, it does go all the way to the end of the quote. Noisy washing machine, if you hear that in the background, and that is going to take me forever to weed once it comes out of my Cricut machine. So I am going to go ahead and end this one, get that done, spend some more time with the kids. If I think of any more holiday tips or tricks, I will stick them either in my next Get It On Done video right before the holidays, or it'll be over my Instagram stories. If you guys have any questions about wrapping, presents, anything like that, just leave them in the comments down below. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!